Hello, everyone. How are you all doing?
Hey,
I don't
hey,
know if everybody can see us, or should I say?
can, mm, 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 mm. Can everybody see us? How you doing, everybody? Everybody, what's going on?
If you all can see us, make some noise. Well, type,
Noise. Well, at
type,
least type it in if you can
type,
see it. Let me
type,
see.
type,
Yeah,
type.
buddy. Joetta's in the building. Joetta's
What's
in
up?
the building. Yes,
What's
yes.
going on? What's going on, everybody? How are you all doing this lovely Saturday evening? Today it is just me and EJ tonight. So
Oh,
Chris wasn't feeling well this evening, so we gave him the night off for my shenanigans today. Just me and Erskine, me and Erskine, me and Erskine, and I don't know what it is. Every time me and Erskine do a pod together by ourselves, we always had the same damn colors on.
Courtney,
So
Courtney.
my frame. Okay, there we go.
Trying to correct.
So, everybody, I am Mitra. I am one of the, well, not one of the, because it's really just me and Erskine. We're co-hosts. I don't know why we don't have this down back yet, but I am a mother of generational children. I have one grandson. He's 1 years old. I work for the Department of is I work I am a federal government worker. I am a jack of all trades, a master of none. I am a disabled veteran. I am an IT director. I prefer music over TV anytime, any day. Music is just soothing to the soul. So when I say generational children, a lot of people ask me, what do I mean by generational children? So generational children basically is when you have children that's at least 10 years apart. So my first two set of children are 21 and 24 years old, and then I have a 13-year-old. How she got here, I don't know how she got here, but she just showed up one day. But yes, I do have generational children. So I'm gonna send the mic over to EJ right now.
Ah! Hello, everybody. How you guys doing? This is your boy Erskine EJ Alexander, and I'm checking in from the great city and state of New York. Represent for the NY. I am a mental health clinician here in New York with over 20 years of service and work and dealing with mental health. I'm also an actor here in New York as well. We get back to filming. I'll be filming a project next Saturday, and
Hey,
very, very thankful about that. And so just having fun, just really, really living out my best life. I'm a husband, and I'm a husband of almost 15 years. So that means my wife Sabrina done put up with me for 19 years, and we got papers for 15, going on 15 years.
I
And
got rid of mine for 17 years. I got rid of mine. Now
damn,
I'm lonely.
damn, damn.
Now
Well,
I'm just lonely. It's sad.
so damn, Mitra. So I'm a father. I'm a father. I have a phenomenal little 12-year-old who brightens up my life every day. Her and my wife both, and we're just here representing New York. A lot of times people ask, well, what was the purpose of coming up with a podcast show? Well, the purpose of coming up with a podcast show was because the pandemic, the coronavirus pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, whatever you want to call it, it's the pandemic. And so Nietzsche reached out because I would give her the full-fledged credit. She reached out to me. She said, Erskine, let's do a podcast show because at the end of the day, we should have something to do because guess what? Everybody's at home. So
Yep.
anybody that lives in all these cities, you ain't clubbing, you ain't going out nowhere. You may be doing it a little bit now, but you're still doing it on the scary tip. So
Right.
we created a nice podcast show just to allow people to come into our homes via the computer, just to talk about your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, the different challenges that we've all experienced throughout the COVID-19, the different challenges that we dealt with COVID-19. As for me, as I stated earlier, I'm a mental health clinician. So in that line of work, that business went through the roof, which is a great thing. But also my business as an actor slowed down. So for some people, that's on both sides of the fence. Some people taking an L, some people took a win. So it just depends. But regardless of the fact, we were all affected by the coronavirus pandemic. We was all affected by the changes that has come throughout this world. I was about to say the United States, but the world,
Yeah.
the world.
Right.
So that's my little spiel on that. So we thank everybody for allowing us to come into your homes on Saturday nights to talk for an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours, depending on how turned up we get. It might be 3 hours because we like to have a great time like that.
Right.
I can talk 100 miles a minute, so I'm gonna throw this last piece out there, and we're gonna get on in, and I'm gonna pass it on back to Nitra. I am a Carver High School 1995 graduate out of Columbus, Georgia. Nitra and I both. I'm also a Morris Brown College class of '99 ATL. Big shout out to my girl Camille Boyd Gilmore for this dope Morris Brown short.
I like it. I like
Yeah,
it.
represent, and I'm also a class of 2001 Columbia University, New York City graduate, Ivy League here in New York City. So as I stated earlier, I'm a mental health clinician, and that's been my line of work. And I work for one of the most prestigious hospitals here in NY. So God bless you all, and thank you so much. That was my story. So back to you, Nitra, and let's get the rolling. Let's get this party started tonight.
So, wait, just to piggyback off of you, you said your clinician, your full-time job went up.
Yeah.
Your acting job went down.
Yeah.
I lost my business. I lost my business. So yeah.
But see,
In all honesty, I could legit go start my business back up, but I am asthmatic, so I am like, oh my God, I don't know if you got the cooties or not. I know I don't have the cooties because Nietzsche don't go any daggone where unless she go to work, which is one time a week. I drive to the base, I tell her where. But I lost my business. I mean, I do have clients saying, please open back up. But I don't know because I even moved out of my studio. I closed my studio down too. So yeah, it's the thing. And then, when I decided I wanted to date again, coronavirus was like, no, girl, you going to sit out a little bit longer. And I'm like, I don't want to sit out a little more. I want to date.
but you know what? We're going to talk about that tonight. I think we should talk about that. How has dating impacted people's relationships? You know what I mean? Like you start to date somebody. So you think about it, our viewers. You start to date somebody in December, January, and February, and you really think you own to something special with that person. And March comes around here with this coronavirus pandemic, and everything stops. I want to hear from our viewers. How do you guys feel about those kind of things? How the communication now is altered.
Well, hold on. Let's piggyback a little bit.
Okay, we're gonna go back.
Let's talk on the topic first, because I'm pretty sure most people want to hear the topic that we were talking about, and then that we can segue into the dating scene. So let's get into it, as I like to say when we start a topic. Okay. All right. So let's start off with Herman Cain.
Herman Cain, good old Herman. Rest in peace, Herman. Rest in
peace, Herman Cain.
Ladies first.
Let me just throw this out there. I'm not gonna say we all saw it, but we're pretty familiar that he was at the Trump rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma, with no mask on, dancing around, partying like it's 1999, saying that you don't have to wear a mask. Weeks later, he comes down with coronavirus. Okay. Now, I'm not gonna say that he caught it at the rally. He could have caught it before the rally, and just ironically, he was at the rally for the world to see that he was there without a mask. And then there's been other people that has passed, and then you see it floating on Facebook, and it'll say their name, and then they'll say one of the people that said that you didn't need a mask, that coronavirus was a hoax. My question is this: if they could get a do-over, do you think they will wear their mask now?
That's a good question. What do our viewers think about that? Does it have to hit for you to realize, oh my God, I need to wear a mask? Because the unfortunate thing, when it hits, it could be a rest in peace.
It could be. You got a 50-50 chance with it.
50-50 chance with it, So what do our viewers think about that? What are your thoughts and opinions about the mask? Because at the end of the day, It's so much division now in the states alone. Here, I live in New York, and here in New York, you cannot go nowhere without a mask. You cannot go in the grocery stores. You can't go to the barbershops. You can't go to the nail salons. You can't go in the bathroom. You have to wear a mask. They
Yeah.
have it going across every storefront that no mask, no entry. But that's here in New York.
But
And
see, there's
but I'm gonna say this last part about it. No, what I'm
sorry.
saying is that this was implemented back in March for us. And why it was implemented? Because we had a very high population of people dying,
Right.
not getting sick, they were dying. And so our governor was no games with it. He said, you got to wear the mask, you got to wear the mask. Now, of course, everybody had some kickback with it.
Yeah.
But when you started seeing those bodies and you started seeing people passing away and people getting sick and the hospitals are getting extremely overloaded, New York said no, because we got a state of 9 million people that they got to contain, right? So that was why it was mandatory. However, for other cities, they didn't have to wear masks. They didn't have to wear a mask. They didn't have to wear a mask. And if you wore a mask, it was, you got half of the people doing it, half of the people not doing it.
Hmm.
What do you all think would have happened if the entire United States was to say, stop, wear the mask, period? What do you guys think about that? Because you got one state that's saying wear the mask. There's no games in New York or Connecticut. You have to wear the mask. You can't go to the bathroom, can't go to it, can't do none of that.
So I think this is Joetta's response to Herman Cain and those that did not wear the mask. It could have been rest in peace regardless of a mask. And
Okay.
she also said it may be, but it may prevent you from contracting it. Which I agree. We really don't know if you wear a mask, if you don't wear a mask. But I tell you what, regardless if you don't know if the mask will prevent it or not, I'm going to wear the mask. So just so I can say that I personally did everything within my means to keep not only myself safe, but those around me safe. And that means including strangers. Because
Mhm.
now, they're saying that, you know, well, my family and strangers, because now they're saying you can have these symptoms and don't even know that you got
Yeah,
coronavirus. So,
right.
hey, Bruce, we missed you last week.
Bruce.
So, I mean, I, I I don't know. It's very heartening when you find people that's defiant and use the Constitution as their crutch on why they're being defiant. And then it makes me think, well, if you're this defiant, are your children defiant too? Like, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like it's like going to graduation and the principal gets up before they start having the students come down and get their form, and they ask the parents to please parents, family, and friends to please hold all applauses to the end because everybody deserves to hear their name changed. But then you have that one person that starts the whole Natra, that's my girl. Ah! And then they call Erskine name. Erskine! Da, 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 da. And it's like, dang, like, didn't they just tell you? So you can't follow instructions. So I know your children can't follow instructions because you don't follow
Right.
instructions. So, hey, Sam. Sam said, wear the damn mask.
Well, basically,
Just
and
wear the mask.
but you know what? I'm going to say something about that. I have some friends that
Joy,
was like, I'm not wearing the mask because I feel like it's a whole conspiracy and da 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 da. And I'm not wearing the mask. And I get it, people. I get it. It is not the most comfortable thing to do or to wear. Excuse me. In this case, to wear.
it's not. It's
You
not.
know,
Depending on the
but
fabric that you're wearing.
right. Now, if you don't like wearing the mask because it just doesn't feel comfortable, think about the old person, think about this person, think about that person. My daughter, for example, my daughter has her BFF. Um, any other time she would have sleepovers with this BFF, but she can't have sleepovers with this BFF because the BFF has a grandmother, an elderly grandmother that resides with her
Mhm.
with I'm assuming underlying health issues. So that's a problem you
Yeah.
know. So the last thing you want is for, let's say my daughter is asymptomatic, or let's say I'm the dad and I go take her over to the friend's house and I'm in the house and God forbid I say hello to this lady and I'm asymptomatic and this lady gets sick shortly
Mhm.
after I leave her house.
Mhm.
Now that doesn't change the fact that I like wearing the mask. I don't like wearing the mask, but it saves a life.
It
I,
does.
you
And,
know,
and as Joetta said, financial obligations and responsibilities.
mhm.
Because you die. Let's just face it. Everybody do not have life insurance,
We
which
find
brings.
that out very quick.
I'm surprised I haven't seen a whole bunch of GoFundMe accounts.
I
Pop.
have, I
You
have,
have, but
I've
thank God
contributed.
that I haven't because you know how that irks my soul
I
when
know.
I
Oh yeah,
see.
yeah,
But
oh yeah. I've seen
but
it.
it's just I just think that people should just be more conscious of, yeah, again, we say it all the time. We don't like wearing a mask, but find a fabric that you can cover your mouth with and your nose. Because I've seen people that had the mask down here
Yeah.
and not the whole mouth, or they pull the mask on their neck and then
Yeah.
bring the mask back up. Like, don't do that either.
Well,
Don't do
well, our governor did a speech a few days ago, and he said, "Listen, it's not a face shield; it's a mask." He said, "So stop it." Because I've seen people in the street, like I said, here in New York, we can take a washcloth and turn it into a fashion statement up here,
Yeah,
So I've seen people with the mask and they'll have it up and they'll droop it down to make it
yeah.
fashion, you know. But as our
Like, don't
governor stated, that's not how you that's not how you're supposed to do it. You have to wear the mask. And
yeah,
my wife and daughter, they have braids, and so they've been able to wear the mask for a very um, long period of time. They've been,
yeah,
they had to go where they went to go get their braids done. They had to sit the whole 3 hours with a mask on. Now,
yeah.
me personally, I last week was the first time I wore the mask for at least an hour. And it wasn't
Mhm.
the most comfortable thing in the world, but I had it on because a lot of times people have seen me on Facebook and Instagram, and I'm always cracking jokes with the mask. I always do, funny
Yeah,
memes with the mask, but I'm only having the mask on for like 2 minutes, 1 minute, if that
yeah,
long.
yeah,
And but the bottom line is, you have to wear it. I'll be on a set next Saturday, and even though the set is going to be outside, I'm going to be around a camera crew. So because I'm going to be around a camera crew, I'm going to, definitely keep the mask on, or at least
yeah.
definitely social distance to be on the safe side with the whole thing. So yeah. But I get it. But what I want to ask people this, I want to ask our viewers this: what is your major for those that don't like to wear the mask? What is your major issue about wearing the mask? Is it because you don't like it because it's not comfortable, or do you feel like it's some political stuff behind it? I would love to hear what our viewers say about that.
Excuse me. So while we're waiting on this, I don't know if you all remember a few weeks ago, Father's Day. As a matter of fact, on Father's Day, we had two gentlemen. I'm waiting for comments to come in, so that's why I'm saying off topic. We had two gentlemen to come in, and one did cigars out of Jacksonville. That was DJ Cigars.
Mm,
And we had LaShawn, who is Mr. All of Me, and I was telling him about his wine. Well, I did order some more of his wine. Yeah, I ordered some more of his wine, and it's really good. So that is what I am drinking tonight. Okay.
okay.
All right. So Bruce said, let me pull up his comment. Bruce said, "Life is about choices. You don't you if you don't want to wear the mask, stay the hell away from me." I completely agree with that.
Agree. Yes.
And with that being said, I have asthma. So you all that's been with me long enough, you see me, I cough like every freaking episode. I'm coughing. But even when I'm in public and I wear my mask, like this morning, I went to the grocery store and I wore my mask. I'm still coughing, but I try to contain how I'm coughing because I don't want people to look at me and be looking like, oh my gosh, why is she outside? She's coughing.
Right.
She got a mask, and I hate to have to. I hate that I feel sometimes that I legit have to throw out a disclaimer and give my health problems. I have asthma. I'm not sick. I have asthma, which brings me to my neighbor across the street, young guy across the street. I parked my truck. I opened my garage because I was going to bomb my garage because I saw a spider nest growing, and I don't do arachnophobia and all of that. I have arachnophobia, but he heard me coughing, and so he was like, "Hey, you okay over there? I hear you coughing. You got a mask?" And I was like, "Yes, I have a mask." I said, "It's just my asthma." I said, I do have a mask. I said, not only do I have a mask, I have several masks. So he's like, "Okay, I'm just making sure." He said, "You say you got asthma?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You got one of those machines you can get on?" I said, "Yes, I have a nebulizer." He's gotta be like 24 years old, same age as my daughter, but it's just funny that he heard me cough from across the street, and he was like, you good? No, like, I'm good.
But that goes to show you how people are getting real skeptical. They get real like,
Yeah.
"Hey, man, what's wrong with you?" I was joking with my wife. She coughed earlier today, and I was like, "Hey, girl, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?" It is like it's just a cough. Don't be looking at me like that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But you have people that think that now. When you go out in public, I haven't been to any grocery stores. I'll pop in a grocery store here and there to
Yeah.
grab a little small this or small that.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, but as far as like like shopping all the way, no, I haven't done that in no grocery stores. My wife will go to the grocery store. I won't go to the grocery store. I might go to like a Home Depot or something like that. But as far as like going to the grocery stores, I'm like no. But people are looking at you like,
Yeah, and Sam just said, because I know Sam's asthmatic, so she just said it's basically the same thing.
and it's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. But let me ask you guys this: what's going to happen in the fall
It's
when
going to get worse because they said, "Look,
right,
we are."
the weather starts to change. The weather starts to change in the fall. So when the weather starts to change in the fall, and people start getting sniffles and coughs, not because they got the corona or not because they got
That's the first thing they're gonna think.
that's the first thing they're gonna think.
They're
So
gonna,
what do people
"Oh my God."
what do people think about that? What are your thoughts and feelings about you know you have a cough or a sniffle?
Hold on now,
Yeah.
Bruce. I'm not going to no beach with no damn mask on. I just won't go to the beach.
Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute.
I know you went to the beach first,
I
and I saw your pictures, and I was like, "Huh? Wait a
yeah,
minute, what we doing here?" But Bruce, read this one right here, Erskine.
okay.
What Bruce said.
So we just came back from Barcelona last weekend. Many people at the beach were not wearing a mask. We turned around and went back to the pool at the hotel. It's not worth the risk. Life's about choices. We choose to live.
I
Okay,
know that.
I want to piggyback on Bruce too. So Bruce, we went to the beach in Connecticut. We was up in Connecticut. We went to the beach, and um it was not crowded. I want to set the record straight because people were looking at me like, when I took some pictures, I put them on Facebook because I was at the beach, I was live, and I was in the water. It was 90 degrees on the East Coast up north, and that doesn't happen often. So what do? You go to the beach. So anyway, I'm at the beach, and everybody was spaced out. The pictures just didn't do the justice too well, but everybody was spaced out. However, when I did get in line to get food, when we got ready to get lunch, I had on a mask. At one point, when I found myself walking towards, because you have to walk towards the area to get the food, and you're on the beach, but you're walking off the beach, so you're around people a little bit. I had the mask on, which was fine. It's really, really about just being cautious because
Yeah.
some people take it seriously, some people don't. The one thing about that particular beach, they did not let it get crowded. Once it reached a certain capacity, they wasn't letting people in. So we left. We was out there. We got out there in the morning. We left. Yeah. So they was turning people around. So if the beach, they measured the capacity. If it got too crowded, they was turning people around. So
Mm.
yeah. So it's all about just being safe, and they wasn't playing that. Yeah.
Joetta. She said, "No
Okay.
talking, doing pictures." I ain't mad at you, Joetta. Matter of fact, don't even breathe while we taking pictures. She
Right.
said her disclaimer to her graduation is, "Because I am concerned with your health." That's her disclaimer. because I am concerned with your health and COVID-19 pandemic is our reality. The testing does not replace our public responsibility. I truly understand that if you are unable to attend any events in person, however, face masks / shields, temperature screening, and social distancing is required upon entry. There will be no exceptions. Gloves will be provided upon request for event one. Chairs and chair covers will be used. You may only remove your mask for photos and to eat, etc. I am not mad at you, Joetta. If that's
Now, is that for a beach? What is that for? Is that just...
having a party, so she's having her
Oh,
doctoral.
good. Okay.
Yeah. So it's only 15 people, that she's allowing to attend, which is cool.
Mhm.
But looks like she got it pretty mapped out. You can't complain with anything like that. And I'm pretty sure she's gonna have plenty of hand sanitizers and everything else that she needs.
Yeah. And that's the thing about it. It's all about safety, and you have to respect people's feelings about it. I have one particular classmate, a gentleman that I grew up with, and on purpose, he went he went to a store and he was videotaped. He went to the store without a mask on because he said he just don't believe in wearing it. He just said he think it's crazy, and ain't nobody got no coronavirus. It's fake and blah blah blah. And so as he was walking in the store, you could hear the guy telling him, sir, like, put the mask on. He just kept on going in the store. And the only thing I say to that is you have to still respect store policy. You have to respect people's space. Because if you came in my store and you ain't got no mask, I'll throw your ass out. You don't like it, don't come back.
Which a lot of people was recording themselves going in there, and basically when they was asked to leave, they were throwing grown adult temperature, but basically yelling in the store, talking about it's their constitutional right. You can't but this is my business, and I do have a right to put your ass out if you're not following my policies and procedures. And people have to understand, look, all money ain't good money. Okay.
Good money.
And if this is what you're going to do, then guess what? You need to get out and go to another establishment. And you can say that I was rude. You can say that I put you out. You can write the Better Business Bureau. You can do anything you want to do. But what I'm going to say is I am going to make sure that I do everything that I can to protect me and mine and the other people around me. Like, I have a guy that I don't know what his thing was. So I moved my office from one part of the building to another part of the building, right? So he wanted my phone that was in my old building, my old office. And I told him, I said, look, when I move offices, sure, you can have the phone, because it was a newer phone. Well, baby, so I moved my stuff. Again, I'm only in the building one time a week, right? So I went in the office, I put some stuff down, I'm running around, and I noticed my phone is making this buzzing sound. It hadn't done it before in the new office. It's making a buzzing sound. So I didn't think nothing of it because, I'm running around. I got stuff to do. And so I went to use the phone and realized that the phone was the old phone from my old office. My office that I have now is the 2-line phone. So the phone is not going to work in my new office. My old phone is not going to work in my new office. So I immediately got pissed. First of all, why in the Sam hell are you coming in my office, changing and switching out any goddamn thing in my office? First of all. So what I did was, the building manager, I was like, hey, is his office open? And she was like, I don't know. He said, what's wrong? I said, he went and switched the phones. I said, I'm about to switch these bitches back. And so he was like, okay. And I went and I put the old phone that was in my old office in the guy's office, and I took my phone back that was in my new office, and then I put on there, do not touch. I said, matter of fact, if he come back in my office, I'm gonna cuss his ass out. Don't come in my office touching anything, because guess what? You may have the freaking cooties, and I don't want the cooties from you or anybody else. Don't touch my phone. Don't. Matter of fact, don't come in my damn office. Who gave you the right to come in my office? So I didn't see him that whole damn day. But I'm pretty sure if he went to work on Tuesday, he got a surprise of his damn life.
Oh, I can imagine. Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can only imagine
So
with that. But like I said, it's really, really about respecting people's space. That is going to be the new norm.
I
That's
did,
going
Joy.
to be the new
I
norm.
did down. I did. I felt like Boosie, little Boosie.
Little boost. I have a friend in the States whose child went to a YMCA day camp last week. Today his 11-year-old has tested positive for COVID-19. This pandemic is real. It is real.
Yeah,
It's
my
no
daughter
and
tested too
yeah.
because
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
working with somebody close quarters, and she's in the Navy, close quarters, and he or she, I don't know. She just said my coworker came that tested positive for COVID-19. She went and took the test. Ursula and Lawrence know I was about to have a daggone tinsy, but her results came back negative. Then my son calls me today and says I got to go and get tested for COVID-19. Why? Because one of my coworkers that I was in close proximity with, working alongside of him, has tested positive. So of course now I'm like, um, hey, that's why I'm drinking tonight. Okay, okay.
Right.
All right. Y'all ain't seen me with a drink in a whole
Woosah,
month.
woosah. Because
That's
Nietzsche's been on that health kick. Nietzsche's been on that health kick sidebar. She looks great over there. She's exercising, y'all. Health is wealth. Health is wealth. Health is wealth.
so
Health.
yeah. So my anxieties right now are through the roof. Although I do not show my my issues, baby. My son, that test come back and say my son got the cooties. He gonna have to quarantine. I'm gonna have to do him like Como, get your ass in the basement.
Yeah. Right. Listen, it's worked. See, the thing is, what makes it so crazy? A lot of people are upset with Cuomo here in New York, but the one thing that he said that's so unique.
Him and his brother,
Yeah, everybody loves Mr. Cuomo. You
and
know.
especially Chris. Boy, why he gotta be married? Child.
Everybody loves the Cuomo brothers, but they're doing both brothers are doing an amazing job
Yeah,
of keeping this state in order. They talked a lot of noise about New York. We was hot. We
yeah.
were hot. When I say New York was hot, um, and it was very unfortunate and it was very sad. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I've lived in New York for 21 years, and this by far was probably the scariest thing I think I've ever seen with the amount of deaths and people, being sick and the hospitals being overloaded. The thing hits a whole lot different when you lose somebody too. I lost a colleague back in April to COVID. And
I,
so it hurts. It definitely hurts. It definitely hits a lot different. As a clinician, even as a mental health clinician here, I've had at least a good 10 clients test positive for the COVID-19 and this whole process, and they've had to stay in the house and stuff like that. So
yeah,
it is real. It is real. It's definitely real. So we just have to take the necessary steps to be safe, respect people's space, respect people's thoughts and opinions about it. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Because the bottom line is, whether you like it or not, people are not able to enjoy like they want to do. It's the most disturbing thing in the world when I can't travel. I love to travel. I love to travel. Everybody loves to travel. I can't go to Georgia. I can't go to South Carolina where my in-laws are. I can't go to Florida and hang out with my boy Gary Magel. Can't go out to California. California is this place I love to visit. Can't. Huh? Say that again, Nietzsche. I
I said,
couldn't hear
oh,
you.
I haven't seen him since graduation day.
Who, Gary? You haven't seen Gary since graduation? Oh wow. Oh well, Gary Magel, shout
But
out to my boy Gary Magel. Yeah, down in Miami. I call him the king of Miami. He's been down there. He's been down there like 25 years, 24, 25 years. So shout out to Gary. And we have this arch rival. He and I, we have an arch rival about whether Miami's the hot city or whether New York City is the hot city. And I'm representing for New York and he's representing for Miami. And it was our
I am
turn this year.
hot during the winter months. I mean, let's face it. On the winter,
But
we live, it's only hot during the winter months because then we try to get out this snow and whatnot.
right,
But
right.
Bruce, thank you for correcting yourself, Bruce. But he
What
said
did you
that
say?
Drew said he said the T word really wants the kids to go back to school. And he said, I'm sorry, 45 really wants the kids to go back to school. And you're absolutely correct. He does want them to go back to school. And then on top of that, his son ain't going back to school.
Right.
His
So
son
why
ain't
do
going
you?
back to school.
So why do you think he wants everybody to go back to school? What do you know? I want to know from our viewers' opinion. Why do you think 45 want everybody to go back to school? What's the reason? I really want to know.
Going back to school now. Let's call a thing a thing. He don't want everybody going back to school. He want certain people going back to school.
Do
Okay.
y'all think that? Do y'all really think that? Because I think he, when people say that part, and you and Lawrence broke that down to me very well about the definition of the R, of the
Mm,
R. Do
yeah.
you think that's the case with this situation in regards to school? Because that's across the board with everybody.
Let me tell you something. So he
Because
puts his
I see
things
narcissists
that
all
does not. He puts his nose in things that does not need his attention. Okay, like you don't need to put. That's why you got I guess it's a secretary of education. Yes, secretary of education. That's for them to, which that person sitting in that space, don't have two rocks in her head to make a decent decision either. But he puts his nose in things that in this. Well, I'm not gonna say in this moment in time because it's been his whole daggone term. But right now, the things that he is focusing on, meaning school and the new thing, getting TikTok taken off, where you
I
can't
want
have TikTok
now.
anymore.
What is that? What is that about? Can
So,
y'all explain what is that about? Break that down. I want to know what the
so
TikTok got to do with this.
TikTok's ain't got a damn thing to do with it. Okay,
Okay.
TikTok used to be musically, but
Yeah.
it's like I always say, when people do not have control in one area of their life, they try to gain control somewhere else.
Mm.
Okay, he has no control on none of this shit that he's doing, so he tries to do things to distract you. Like, who the fuck cares about TikTok? Leave people alone just doing TikTok. It's look, I have a TikTok account. I don't make any videos as of yet, but I have a TikTok account. It's some funny stuff out there on TikTok. It's pure
Yeah, I've
comedy.
seen it. It's comedy. I've seen it. I've seen some crazy stuff.
A lot of TikToks where they're mocking him and he's
Mm.
not like, you understand what I'm saying? Like
You don't need
he
TikTok to have somebody mock him.
things that, like, sir, your major focus right now is to how to help end this pandemic. How to help it. How to help end it. And that's not what he's focusing on. He's focusing on other stuff that has nothing to do with what you need to be focusing on. You should be focusing on TikTok. You should not be focusing on school right now. Let the people that you have in place focus in on school. I have never seen a president that does the shit that he does. And yes,
Never.
please out and vote people. Again, like I said, I ain't telling you who to vote for, but you may not like either one of the candidates. But it is vitally important that you vote, and you vote for somebody that has a political background in this arena. We cannot take another 4 years of fuckery and foolishness. And y'all ain't heard me say that in a minute, but we cannot take another 4 years of this. Like it's you ever heard the song "The Whole Town is Laughing at Me"? Well, the whole world is laughing at the United States.
I know
Okay,
they are.
because we have people in place that's not doing their due diligence. And that's the political side of me that's going to say that. When McConnell starts saying you need to wear your mask and he's trying to step away, there's got to be something going on. McConnell, as nasty as he is, he's pulling away, he's stepping away. I think last week we were talking about why all of a sudden 45 is wearing a mask. Because finally he's listening to somebody saying, sir, if you don't wear this damn mask, you might just lose this election. Me personally, I feel like he is going to lose the election. But who am I? I also said he wasn't going to become president either. So who am I?
Also, look at I don't know, and my other viewers that's out there watching us, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's supposed to be a situation with the post office. With the post office,
Yeah.
they're going to alter some stuff at the post office. He's talking about delaying the election.
of election. Don't know that shit. You gotta take leave from your job. I don't care if you are LWAP in your leave. And you don't take that message of election and drop that shit off. Don't mail it. Don't. If you can go to a voting booth, go to the voting booth, because I'm kind of skeptical at it. This election right here is going to be a full foolishness and fuckery. Pay attention.
It's going to
be like no election ever. And they're already predicting that he's not going to win this election. Okay. Yeah. But they're also and this is why I say they're predicting that he's not going to win this election. So who knows? They probably doing some shit in the background that he don't fucking know, to make sure that he does not win this election, because they're already predicting that he's not going to win this election. And you know how they predict? Because they're already saying when Biden becomes president, Trump is not going to leave the White House willingly. Who has ever said that ever? Ever. Nobody has never heard of a president. You have never heard of them predicting a president is going to act like a 2-year-old child and just not go the hell away. They are already saying that he is not going to willingly go. Like, they're going to have to force him to leave. Like, they're going to have to pack his shit up and say, and do a Bernadette on them and be like, the fire marshal's going to come, and they're going to say, well, man, this is nice. This is a nice neighborhood. And Biden going to be like, it was trash. Yeah, basically. Like, they said, well, can you not do it? It won't ever happen again. So it goes back to me again saying, and then who is that? The Ukraine's goddamn hit on his head, man. I'm telling you, I do not believe that this dude is going to be president again. And this ain't even a freaking topic of discussion. But I know he has a warrant for his arrest. What president? I think I'm yelling. What president What president has a warrant for their fucking arrest in another fucking country? Where they do that at? Okay, where they do that at? What president that what president does so much foolishness and fuckery that they're like off with his head? Not saying they're gonna cut his head off, but they're like, oh, we're coming to get you. Oh, you're coming with us. They ain't playing with your ass no more. You tried the wrong motherfucking country. Daughter said it's the one. You don't try the wrong motherfucking.
Where is it at?
Just as soon as they announce that you are no longer president, because we don't want a war if you are still the fucking president, okay? We're gonna come get your ass. And I just now, can anybody tell me? I mean, shit, even Nixon did Watergate. That nigga said, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
It was like, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead, back out. He did SpongeBob. You know what? I'm gonna just head on out. Nixon was like, let me just go ahead and resign.
But that goes to show you that goes to show you the type of leadership we have in the White House. And it shows you money. Money, it seems like money plays a part. If anybody got money, you can do anything. Same thing they told Kanye West. He was a billionaire. They said Kanye said he gonna run for president.
Topic right there.
Now, come on. Listen, Kanye West in the middle of giving a campaign speech.
A mental breakdown.
Has a mental breakdown. Now, I know some people was looking at him like he was crazy, right? As a clinician, I saw this guy just decomposing. Yeah. I mean, just going down. Yeah. But nobody won't tell him, stop what you're doing. Because you know what? He pay them all. He's being there. He pay them all.
I think Kim has told him, but she hasn't. I think she has.
She's tried.
Yeah, I think she told him because so of course the Kardashian clan as a whole, minus Rob, has this stigma that they get with these black men and the men just fall apart. No, they get with broken people. That's what they do. And in the midst of their brokenness, They try to cover the brokenness, and then they have these things. Like Lamar Odom was a freaking crackhead before he even got with Chloe. I mean, call a thing a thing. You know, Kanye West, you know, he was a mental basket case before he got with Kim. You know, and then that says, oh, Reggie Bush, he got in. Reggie Bush wasn't broken. See, there's a difference of being broken and not broken. Reggie Bush was not broken. Now, why their relationship ended, that don't have nothing to do with it. But the reality of it is, Reggie Bush. Well, we all know, we all assume how we know it ended. But what I'm saying is, Reggie Bush was not a broken individual. Is what I'm saying.
He's not. He wasn't.
Okay. Even that Chris dude that Kim married for all of 30 days, he was not a broken individual. He was not a broken individual. Kanye West is a broken individual. Scott Disick is a broken individual. He stayed with Chloe at one point in time. He got better, but he was a broken individual. And he ain't even black. He's a white boy, okay?
Yeah.
Lamar Odom, broken individual. So I believe that Kim, because I honestly believe that Kim loved him, just like she probably loved the rest of them. But I believe that she loved him because their relationship was based off of friendship first. And they had been friends for a while, you know, for years. But I think it got to the point to where she could not talk to him anymore because he's not taking his medicines. And I think that Amber Rose saw some of this stuff, which is why she left him. Did you fade out on me, Erskine?
No. I'm right here.
I think Amber Rose saw the demise of Kanye when his mom passed. And she probably tried to talk to him. But Kanye is one of those, it's my way or no way. You're not going to tell me what to do. I know everything. That's the type of person Kanye is. So he's not. So when you have that type of mentality on top of mental illness, and you're the licensed professional. I'm just basing off of what I think and what I see. So when you have that narcissistic personality, and then you have mental health on top of that, you can't talk them don't jump off the bridge. I know it looks like that the water is close, but the water is really 2,000 feet down. Oh no, we're just trying to do it anyway.
Right.
And so, you know, after Kanye had that meltdown, a few days later, I want to say like 3 days later, Kim came out and she finally said something. And you could just hear the pain in the open letter that she wrote, you know, because here it is, somebody that I love that's dealing with major mental issues.
Major.
Okay. Major mental issues. And he just basically said that my mom is like a freaking Nazi or whatever he called her. I'm crazy. I'm trying to kill him. You know, that's a lot for a spouse to take on. And I don't wish that on nobody. So, you know, it just bothers me. Now, I will say this on the flip side of this. I honestly think that Kanye might be a genius because normally geniuses have mental health issues to that point.
Well, he's a billionaire. He's smart. He knows how to get to the bag. You know, he's
hearing that genius line too. Like he was a genius, but he couldn't do common sense stuff.
Of course. I
read some wife would have to tell him to brush his teeth, comb his hair, which is why we never saw him with his hair combed. You know, tie your shoes on, you put your shoes on, you know, just common sense stuff. So I think Kanye does border that genius line, but I think that he just has a whole lot of mental issues that he ain't trying to listen to somebody. Like he'll listen to you until he get out of whatever rehab or whatever he got to go to, and then he off to doing what Kanye or Ye wants to do. So
I just think he doesn't have the support. Snoop Dogg did an interview on the Breakfast Club, and they asked him about Kanye West, and he just basically said he doesn't have a strong support system. Maybe Kim can't help him out. Maybe he's not hearing Kim. You know,
back woman. That's what Snoop said.
What? You already know where I'm going with this. So Snoop said, you know, when you got them aunties and them grandmamas, they've been like, you know, with them hats. He would say that, you know, them grandmamas and them aunts and them cousins. Even if your mama not here, and you got them aunts that play their role. Boys, you crazy? What are you doing?
So
You better straighten up.
which brings me to when I heard Snoop say that, which brought me to is, where is his family? He never talks about his family. It was always his mom. He never talks about his family. Like, so where maybe they didn't have maybe it was just him and her. Like, she raised him. Maybe it was just him, like they was not close to any family. So therefore, that's why Kanye is walking, for lack of better words, in the wilderness. And of course, let's just face it. A lot of times, if you marry into interracial relationships, the other person probably don't even know how to handle you, and based off of the culture. And when I say the culture, I'm not saying, we're black, this is the culture. I mean the ethnicity. She probably don't know how, to handle him or what not to say. And you have to, when you're in interracial relationships, because I've been in a couple, you have to legit sometimes not say certain things so you don't come off as, oh, so that's how you've really been thinking. And let's get off this stuff. This is it's Kanye, please don't run for president. We don't need you. We don't need nobody writing you in on the ballot. We got one clown in there already, and we don't need homie in there. Okay.
Right. But you know what? We're gonna wrap this with Kanye. He's sick. For people that understand and know mental health, he's sick. It's funny, unfortunately, for the outsiders that don't understand mental health or have an idea about mental health. But Kanye West, he is, he's sick, and you just got to wish the brother the best. Hopefully, he can get some good people in his circle to help him. To help him get past whatever issues that he has. So you just got to lift that guy up in prayer.
Yeah, because Kanye's sickness, and I'm gonna tell you what it is. Kanye's sickness, the level of sickness that Kanye is that same level of sickness when you see those mental health people on the streets that's homeless. The only difference is
with a lot of money.
He got a whole lot of money, and he got somewhere to go. That is the only difference between him and a person on the streets with mental illness. That is the only difference. He has money. And so therefore, and he has a wife that's not going to let him go out and lay on the street somewhere. Okay. So that's the level of sickness Kanye is. And I just think people just need to stop laughing at him and making fun of him, because this shit is not funny. I got an aunt that's schizophrenic, and that shit is not funny at all. It's very scary. It's very scary. So, but let's talk about dating during the coronavirus. I mean, we talked about this before.
Yes. Let's roll on into sad situation. So, for our viewers that's just tuning in now, a lot of times people ask, how did we start our show? We started our show because, the whole COVID-19, everything stopped. Coronavirus slowed everything up. It just put everything on pause. Mm-hmm. But not only did the coronavirus put everything on pause as far as like businesses and cooperations, it slowed up relationships.
Southern came out and you said businesses.
Businesses. Businesses. Y'all gotta help me out. English wasn't my major all the time. But right. I had Miss Banks. I don't remember.
I think it was.
It wasn't Miss Florence. It was Miss Henry. It was Miss Henry. Peggy Henry. How you doing, Miss Peggy Henry? How you doing? Y'all had Miss Florence. I had Miss Henry. So anyway, so relationships that started or was on the come up, let's say around January and February, and then March rolls around and it drops. So viewers, our friends, our family, all the people that are viewing this, I want to hear your opinion. How do you deal with starting a relationship in this pandemic? You started the relationship and you was on your way up, let's say January and February, and March rolls around and you got a quarantine. Has that affected your relationship?
I'm gonna say no. Not me, because I don't have no relationship. But what I'm saying is I am going to say, if they started about October, November time period, and then December, and then January rolling around, I'm gonna say that it has not affected their relationship.
Okay. Okay.
And the reason I'm saying is because they're trusting each other that you're doing the right things to take care of each other. So I can slide over to your house and you can slide over to my house. That's just what I think. They're trusting each other. Now, for people such as myself, all right, ain't no sliding going on over here. Because when I said, okay, I think I'm ready to start dating, Corona was like, girl, no. You're gonna wait another 3 years before you start dating it. But I don't know. I mean, me personally, I think that this situation is a good situation to start dating people. And I mean virtually, because you need to talk. Because a lot of times people they chit chat for a little bit and then they meet up with you to see if they like you, if they haven't met you out in public already. And then the next thing you know, y'all might be smashing like a month later, you know. And it's like you didn't know that person, and now somebody had the bright idea to either not continue on, or you find yourself in a relationship and you don't know the person. So I just personally think that talking online, be it a Zoom with friends or people that you don't know that you met on social media, 101. I think there's a lot of dating apps now that you can actually FaceTime the person, for lack of better words, video chat the person before you meet them and stuff. I honestly think, and I've said it before, that this is the best time to get to try to learn somebody, if that makes sense. But ain't nobody trying to do that except for me. So I'm just wandering around.
I would want to know. I would like to hear from our viewers. What do you guys think about that? Do you think relationships can still take off and be successful and prosperous and you grow together and all that good stuff if you met your mate back in March when the coronavirus took off? Do you guys think that it can take off?
You missing your mate. You just brought up something there. You could be legit missing your mate because you're not taking this time to meet people virtually.
Mhm.
Huh.
I would love to hear from our viewers. I would love to hear what they have to say about it. I would love to hear.
That's facts.
Who said that? Fact, Bruce? Yeah.
Yeah, he agreed with that. You could legit, because here's the reality. The reality is this: we're probably not gonna go back to what we assume normal anytime soon. So why are you wasting your life away by not trying to virtually meet somebody and chit chat with that person because you don't want to wear freaking masks? Like, you don't have to. You don't like. Okay, so you're gonna have to start doing something different now, because the whole meeting people. Let's go out for drinks. Let's do happy hour. Ain't no clubs pumping right now. Okay, you can't go to a club.
Right.
You can't go to a lounge. If you don't do clubs, you might do a lounge. You can't do that right now. Like, how are people actually meeting people now? I mean, are they getting on Facebook dating?
Yeah, that's a good way. That's a good way to look at it. How are people meeting each other? Or
Bruce,
did you?
Bruce said, so long you have soap and water and your home is good, it's all good. In your home is all good. So I think what Bruce is trying to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, Bruce, I think what you're saying is once they come in the door, make them go take a shower. Make them go take a shower and bring some extra clothes. Bring some extra clothes, go take a shower, and then we can sit down and have dinner or something. I mean, is that what you're saying for the dinner? I mean, because you can virtually have a date. And the reason I think that was good, because I saw when Tiffany Haddish and Common did it.
I love it. Shout out to Tiffany Haddish. She's actually a buddy of mine out there on the West Coast.
Yeah, so her and Common did it. I just thought that was so cute to have a date and watch a movie together.
Yeah.
I was like, so babe, what you want to eat? And she was like, I don't know, let's do Chinese. I don't know. And I was like, girl, you better have an answer for Common when Common asking you. Matter of fact, me and Common are Peloton friends. we are Peloton friends. So I get to see his stats and stuff when he
Right.
riding his Peloton. Okay.
Oh, suck it. Well, you better be careful, Nisha. We go out to LA. We don't need no problems. We don't need no problems.
I'm sorry, Miss Haddish.
We don't need no problems. Yeah, her
Yeah,
friends know my friends.
and like we said, there's plenty of DJs doing their thing on social media, which was funny because you could do your thing on when DJ Nice, D Nice,
D-Night. Yeah.
really Nice, was doing his thing. Everybody jumped on that bandwagon. Instagram would let you have these parties. Facebook would not. But guess what? Facebook owns Instagram. So I just thought that was just weird.
I didn't even know that. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
they were shutting people down. They were shutting because I have a friend that DJs. And he's not one of these home DJs. Like he works for the government, but he has a legit DJing company. So he at the restaurants for happy hours. He'll DJ for you thing. I had an event. I had him to come. He was supposed to come, but something came up, and he sent his brother to DJ. Like it's a whole thing. So he started DJing, and a couple of times Facebook actually shut him down. And he wasn't the only one I heard that they shut down, which I thought that was crazy. Why not have a DJ like that? But Facebook is real funny, honey. Real funny.
Yeah. Flaky, flaky, flake, flake, flake.
Ruth, Netflix and chill do not mean we're gonna really watch this whole movie. We gonna chill, all right. That ain't really Netflix. You might as well say entanglement and chill.
Well, that's normally how it goes.
Yeah,
We know how it goes. We know how it goes. There were certain movies that my wife and I used to watch, and we started off watching them. They watched us.
Yeah, I want to do date nights. I'm looking forward to when I have a new boo. I really am because I'm telling you, the new dude that I be with, I promise you, he is going to be the freaking bomb. And if he ain't, I ain't gonna tell y'all.
Well, she'll tell us. She'll tell us on the show.
Yeah, I tell you on the show, I'll be like, oh, he is trash. His dick is trash and everything's trash. No, I wouldn't do that. But yeah, I can't. I honestly, I'm kind of hyped about me starting to date and everything. When I'm able to date, I'm looking forward to that because I just know.
You know what? I also say even for the new dating, for people that's starting something new. For people that's starting something new, what about the people that's been in that stuff for a long time? But Raheem said entanglement and chill is better than Netflix and chill. Well, you know what? That's what people doing, unfortunately. But what about? I want to say this. What about the couples that's been together for 15 years or 10 years or 5 years? The couples that are considered to be solid, you're married or whatever. What about those people? What can you do to keep those things keep those relationships spicy? I've experienced a lot during this pandemic with couples that are ready to throw their spouse out the window. They're ready to throw their girlfriend out the window. I have some couples that have thrown the relationship out the window.
I'm about to say the spouse.
Well, no. Well, that too. I've had some couples that have thrown their spouse out the window. I've had friends whose spouse is just over them. So, what can you do as a couple to bring that back during this pandemic? Because it doesn't take much for anybody to get frustrated. It doesn't take much for people to get overwhelmed. It doesn't take much for people to say, I'm over this.
Yeah.
So, it don't take much for anybody to snap. So, what can you do as a couple? Because now you're home.
House.
Say that again.
You can do romantic picnics in the house.
You can do romantic picnics in the house. You have to do what I've always emphasized to couples, and I would say the same thing with new couples: is have your date night.
Yes.
Have your date night. I think we all, as couples, we're all guilty of this. We've all been busy. We're caught up in trying to maintain the house. We're caught up in trying to maintain the children, the day-to-day operations of our businesses, our jobs. And so sometimes the spouse kind of takes a back seat. on
And
either side.
mhm,
So I've always said you have to do what you have to do to keep that spice lit. I'm just being honest, viewers. I told my wife when our daughter was born, I said, I still want to be a good husband. You
yeah,
already know the dynamic is changed now because we're mother, your mother, and I'm a father, and we're responsible for a person now.
yeah,
But what about us?
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I
And
mean?
people don't
So,
think about that. So now
it-
their whole theme music in their home is "There's a Stranger in My House" by Tamia. Because
right,
you've gotten comfortable and you've outgrown your spouse. And it's
right,
sad when when you outgrow your spouse, because then when you try to come back together in cases like this, or even just let's just take coronavirus out of this.
yeah,
And let's just say everybody has the same weather as the northern states, blizzards, okay? And you have a blizzard and you're stuck in the house,
yeah,
for like 2 weeks. People can't even maintain that. They go bonkers, during that time. But people have to understand, when you get married, it is vitally important to try to maintain those things that you once did to attract your mate to
there
you.
you go.
You
Absolutely.
like Erskine said, the date nights, the card games with you and him, even mentally stimulated each other's minds.
Yeah, yeah,
You have to do, hey babe, what you think about it? Let's sit down and talk. Just because I say let's sit down and talk does not mean that I have a problem. I just might want to pick your brain about something. I might
yeah,
want to talk about something that I saw on Instagram or on Facebook. Nothing heavy, but just to have a conversation with you. A lot, we don't talk anymore. It's texting, and texting is not meant to have a conversation. It's not meant to have an argument on. It's to send a quick thought to the other person, and then for them to respond when they have time to respond. Not to have a whole freaking look. You text me, you got 5 times to text me back and forth, and I'm gonna call you.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not
I totally
trying
agree.
to sit up here and have a conversation, because the next thing you ask me might take up at least 2 minutes just for me to text. And if
Right,
anybody
right.
knows, 2 minutes, it seems like it's not a long time, but it is a long time. Ask anybody that's taking a PT test. Them two
Right.
minutes seem like they're forever.
Well,
And people don't talk.
right, right, right. I want to piggyback on what you were saying about the text messaging. I listen, like you said, the text message is for something quick. Like if you're sitting in a meeting or if you're sitting somewhere and you can't talk on the phone, it's not meant for you to have a full-fledged conversation. You can have a conversation, but when it's in depth about feelings and emotions, those kind of things need to take place face to face.
Yes, they
They
do.
gotta go because you know why it needs to take place face to face? Because you can't see how I feel
Body
when I'm
language.
in by texting.
Body language.
Because I can tell you, I can say, I could do. I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna give our viewers an example. I can say,
I was about
yeah,
to give you one too.
yeah, girl, I love you. Girl, you so pretty. You mean the world to me. You mean the world to me.
Not only that, say you're fussing. Not, you know what? I'm not gonna say fussing. Say you're having a conversation with your spouse, and they're saying, "Well, why can't you do?" And you be like, "But I love you." Oh, you want to?
Right.
You can't see body language, and
You
then
can't see
people
body language. Yeah.
try to cover it up with emojis.
With emojis.
Slick at your mouth, but you
You
got
put
on.
right, right. You know, and a lot of times that happens. So my thing, especially for couples that are at home during this time, sit down and talk. Have a good time with your spouse. You know what I mean? Clear the home. You know,
Give
huh?
me a massage. Just let me cuddle. I just want to love you.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, because see, I think as a whole, as society, we've always gotten away with being able to kind of dodge the problem because we could go out to the lounges when we got off from work, or we could just say we're working from home. I mean, we're working late and we ain't going home. So by the time you come in, your spouse is asleep and you didn't address the problem, and we're back out the door to the next day, and the problem is still not addressed. But now that the coronavirus thing done took off and a lot of couples are at home, you're forced to sit down and talk it out. If it's a problem, let's lay it out on the line. When
Yeah,
you're married, you should feel like you married you should feel like you married your best friend.
yeah,
You should feel like you married your homie. You know what I mean? And because you feel like you married your homie, you should be able to talk to your homie. You should be able to talk to your friend. Your spouse ain't just your husband or your wife. That's your homie, your pal, your ace spoon. That's your homie. You should be able to talk to him about anything. For couples that neglect to talk and speak to each other, you don't address the problem. And then there's excuses that'll come up as to why you haven't addressed the problem. And because maybe they don't want to address the problem. But you have to sit down and you talk. And that's the important
Another problem, because guess what? When an argument does erupt, somebody's gonna bring up some shit that happened 6 months ago when you didn't come home on time, and you with Erskine. And I know you went with Erskine because I saw Erskine in the grocery store the same time you said you was with her. It's a whole, like, just talk about this stuff. Dang, it doesn't take. Here's my thing. We all change and evolve within our relationships for personal growth, or just because we become set in our ways. But you have to be able to communicate. You have to talk about the matters of your heart. Just because I talk about the matters of my heart does not mean that we have a problem. I'm just telling you how I feel about a particular thing. And then you can say, oh, well, you know what? I really didn't know that. I didn't know that it hurt your feelings. I recommend everybody to get the book about the 5 love language and figure out what your 5 love language is, and figure it out with your spouse or your significant other. Because, you might be a gift giver. That ain't that person's thing. They can care less about a gift, but their thing might be quality time or physical touch. So if you rub on my booty or you love on me or whatever, then I'm happy. I'm not that girl with Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day do not set me over the moon. But if you love on me, I'll take that over Valentine's Day any day. Don't give me them nasty ass chocolates, because I'm not gonna eat them. The flowers are going to die. Hey, I'm just being honest. The flowers are going to die. They're a nice gesture, but give me something more tangible. And when I say tangible, it does not mean that it's a purse or some shoes either. Tangible to me means, even if you're not telling me you love me, you're showing me by your actions that you love me. I can take that a whole lot better than some superficial materialistic stuff, So I think that's a book that every person that's in a relationship during COVID-19, they should really sit down and read the book, and then take the quiz at the bottom of the book. And then ever so often read it again and take the quiz again, because again, we're people, we evolve. You might not like quality touch before, but you might like it now. Or your thing might be quality time, or acts of service, I think. I don't know. I forgot the other one because that's not mine. So, but just take these things and yes, Sam, Valentine's Day is overrated. And this is from 2 women saying that Valentine's Day is overrated. Because men would tell you straight up and down, that's a woman's holiday. Da, 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 da. No, that's not a woman's holiday. Is anybody who wants to celebrate it? But it ain't mine.
Right. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I celebrate it. I ain't even gonna sit here and lie to you. I celebrate it.
That's gonna reciprocate with you, but when you don't have anybody that's gonna reciprocate it, and okay. So let me put a little sidebar to it. So Erskine's married. So we're gonna act like Erskine ain't married. Sabrina don't even exist. Okay, we're gonna say me. I was about to say Elgin. Lord Jesus, me and Erskine are in a relationship. Okay, or we're married, right? He likes Valentine's Day. I can care less about Valentine's Day, but just off of GP that I know that that's his thing, then I will reciprocate. I would do something nice. I would do something sexy for him, because I know that's his thing. And that's part of learning the 5 love languages. You reciprocate what it is for that other person. Not, oh, but if they don't give me quality time, then I ain't gonna do. No, that's not how this works. That's why people don't know their spouses after a period of time. So you have to go off of what they like. I like a good gift. Don't get me wrong. I do like a good gift, but I'm not a Valentine person. Okay. So like my ex-husband, his thing was Christmas. He loves Christmas. He likes giving Christmas gifts. Okay, that ain't my thing. I care less about a Christmas. Okay, but because we had children and because he liked Christmas, I did Christmas. You get it? So it's not about what you like, it's about what the other person likes because that's how you get them to feel loved and what warm and fuzzies and stuff. My thing is love on me, kiss me, grab me by the back of my pants and be like, girl, come here. Hug on me, stuff like that.
Right,
So
right. Which is great. And I think that's the purpose of the date nights. That's the purpose of hitting the reset button when you guys sit down and you guys talk about those things.
yeah,
For me personally, and I'm just giving an example. My wife is laid back. She's a typical New Yorker. She's
yeah,
laid back, laid back, real chill, right? When it comes times to party, I'm out there. I'm out there. I like to have a good time. When I turned, whenever I had a big birthday party, it was in the club and I had all my friends around, and that's what I like. Well, for her, she is perfectly fine traveling to a beach, kicking back on the beach, and it's just me and her, or just me, her, and our kid. She's not into all the hoopla, So she'll ride with me when I do my stuff, if it's a crowded situation. But I'll ride with her when it comes time to do her stuff because she wants it to be a quiet situation. So I think that's the purpose of couples sitting down and talking, having that conversation, just to hit reset. But because you're not the same person that you were at 25, you're not the same person that you are at 35, especially if kids done came into the picture, and you're not the same person when you turn 40 and 45.
yeah.
So
And
that's
if
the
you are
purpose of
something that's deeply wrong,
yeah, yeah, yeah. If you that's crazy,
and,
So
and and honestly, the only people that can still get away with that type of stuff are celebrities.
because money. I
Yeah,
always say money. I always say money. I don't want to go back to the whole Will Smith and entanglement situation. I really don't want to go back to that. But I'm gonna ask all our men that's watching. Tell me, men, are you perfectly fine knowing that your wife
I'll wait.
smashed
Wait a minute. I'll wait.
another man and said she needed to feel good?
That was a slap in his face, but go ahead. I'll wait.
I just want to see any man, any of our viewers that are
Right.
males, that
Bruce.
are
I don't
Bruce, talk
know.
to me. Raheem,
Bruce.
talk to me. All the men that's out
I
there.
need
I I,
answers.
I just want to know.
I need answers. Do you
Oh,
think it is okay for her not only have her this extra marital affair, but for her to say, I hadn't felt good in a while and I just needed to feel good?
I want to know how men feel about that.
Because I know me, even if that was some shit that I was feeling and thinking, I would never, ever, ever tell my husband no shit like that. Cause y'all can't handle that. Y'all ready to kill us, bury our bodies somewhere,
Stick a fork in them.
light us on fire, cut car brakes. Y'all ain't with the shits when it comes to that.
Right.
Y'all ready to like look at us and tell everybody that we done stole the 12 chapels. We have done some crazy shit. All right. But us women, and I'm speaking in general, and like I was for men, we would take your ass back. Cause you'll be like, baby, I'm sorry, she didn't mean nothing to me. It was a mistake. I was walking down the hall and her pussy was just sitting there, and I just fell into it. I don't even know how I got into it, but I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Could you please take me back, baby, baby, please, baby, please, baby, please. And we be like, okay. And then you do what? I turn the move. I bought you this. I was in the mall today and I saw it and I thought you might like it. And we be like, you're so cute, girl. You bought me a and we would take you back just for your ass to do that shit again.
Well,
I'm laughing, but it's not a laughing matter.
but it's so unfortunate that
Yeah,
happens. It
yeah.
happens. It really does. I've
And
had
sometimes it
couples.
doesn't happen a second time.
It doesn't, right, right. I mean, some
Yeah.
people listen. I was telling a friend we have all had brushes with the law. That don't mean we broke the law, but we've had brushes with the law in that sense. Every guy, every man that's walking, period. However, you have to ask yourself, you got to ask yourself, what happens long term? Can you recover from that? Some people can, some people can't. But it's the guy's job. If the guy broke the law, it's the guy's job to work that trust back up to his spouse.
Yeah.
Build that trust back up with his spouse, and vice versa. Because,
it's
like I said, I'm a man. Because I'm a man. Just like I'm you know, that whole thing, and I want to throw something with that. You know, towards the end of that interview, when they said bad marriage for life.
Oh, I cringed when I heard that. I cringed. We live together, die together, bad marriage for life. Like,
Let me explain something to y'all.
cringed. Because
That's,
what freaking example are you setting up for your kids and everybody else that's watching this fuckery and foolishness? Like, I legit, my skin, like, okay, let me be real transparent real quick.
okay.
And Erskine knows this because I have cried to Erskine. Erskine has had to give me counseling. Erskine knows one of the reasons, I mean, he knows the many reasons, but what I'm saying is Erskine knows one of the reasons why I chose to leave my husband was he was a person that continuously cheated on me. And the last time I left, even Erskine didn't know. Nobody knew that I left. It was months later. And they were like, oh, so how such and such? And I was like, I don't fucking know. And they would think oh, girl, you crazy. You so silly. What you mean you don't know? That's your husband. Yeah, because we ain't together. So I say that to say is if I didn't do it for myself, I had to leave him for my children. And a lot of people stay for the children, but I had to leave for my children because I needed to show my children that was a very dysfunctional marriage. And I don't need you to have a dysfunctional marriage yourself. So I left him. So for Will and Jada to do fist bumps at a freaking table in front of millions of people, and we can all say that it was acting. We can all say it was for publicity. We can all say it was for August's record coming out. I don't care what the reason was, but it was cringeful to watch that they set up here and told the world basically that it was okay to do that kind of stuff, but yeah, we're still going to be together whether or not it's good or bad. And let's just forget, we're not talking about your vows in the good times and the bad times, you honored to hold and all of that. We're not even talking about that because that was not Bible and that was not vows. That was fuckery and foolishness. That let everybody know that you can go out here and it's okay to cheat on your spouse. Mm-hmm. Okay? Regardless if you have an open marriage or not, because the rumors was already out there that they had an open marriage and they kept denying. But you don't, even if that's what you want to do within your relationship is have an open marriage, don't publicize it and let everybody know that it's
like bruh. I was like, bruh.
You got kids that's looking at you thinking that this is how a marriage is supposed to work. And that is not how a marriage is supposed to work. And I cringed when I saw it. And I was like, oh, they messed up the part because that's not what they said in Bad Boys. Because that was a line out of Bad Boys, minus the bad marriage for life. It was partners for life in Bad Boys, and I cringed.
Yeah, because that's not the definition of it. Get a divorce. Nothing wrong with it. But you know what the problem is? You know why people don't want to get a divorce? Because they're trying to secure the bag. They try to keep it economically stable. But you know what? You will be at more peace. I'm gonna be honest with you, people. I don't highlight divorce and I don't push divorce, but at some point you have to be like enough is enough.
But my thing is, why get married if you want to have an open marriage? Now, if you want to have an open relationship and you're not married, that's one thing. But why do you want to have an open marriage?
Security.
No, get a fucking divorce. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, we get security, but that's not what it is. That's research. Research says it. You see it across the board. People stay in these toxic relationships nowadays for economic purposes.
But even if that's what you're gonna do, y'all both gonna be having an open relationship, okay? Don't do like Monique and Sydney. They say they have an open relationship. They ain't scared to say that they got an open relationship. Matter of fact, Monique even, because I'm talking about Monique because Joetta brought it up. Monique was the one that suggested it to Sydney that they have a relationship because she said when she's on the road, if it's somebody that she want to FUCK, that's what she gonna do. Okay, so she let it be known. But I also say this: we don't know who Monique and Sydney been boning on the side because they keep this shit real tight.
Well, you want me to tell you something about that?
If you go, yeah.
It for them, for some people, it may have worked. The only problem that happens with that, there's one little word that comes in. Now, it may not come the
Yeah,
first month.
everybody needs to sign a damn NDA.
Yeah, yeah. It may not come the first week, the second month, 2 months, or a year. There's one word that's gonna change. Feelings, so deep in my feelings. Let me tell y'all something. When feelings get involved, and they may not get involved the first month, the
I
second
hear
month,
you're
the third
correct.
month.
I just read your message. She did say that. You're correct.
Yeah. The first month, the second month, the third month, or whatever. It may not happen then, but it will happen. Because what happens when you want to be held? What happens when you want to be touched? What happens when you really just want to have that night when you get thrown up against the wall and had a good time and you can't
Stop.
because
Let me drink.
Mr. Man or Miss Lady is up against, is with their primary spouse. Feelings get involved. I was listening at Ronnie DeVoe and Shamari DeVoe, and they was talking about they wanted to try the open marriage thing because after 7 years of marriage, they got to a point where they wanted to try different flavors. She was kind of want to do her thing, and he was kind of want to do his thing. But then it got to a point down the line that,
Really involved.
yeah, feelings got involved.
I think it
Feelings got involved. Where's she at? What's she doing now?
was on Shamari's part. She started getting feelings for somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a risky.
And they asked them, would you guys do it again? And they said, hell no.
Yeah.
Because that could go left. Bad. When feelings get involved, it changes the whole dynamic. It's cute.
And then you have people that wants to do the poly thing. Okay.
Mhm.
And if that's what you want to do, I'm not knocking anybody that want to be in these poly triad type relationships. You can call them poly relationships. You can call them polygamy. You can call it sister wives. You can call it wives, sisters. You can call it whatever you want to call it. But I just think that when you're married, that should not even be a conversation. Now, if you're not married, then maybe. I don't know. I think I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try something new this year. I think I'm gonna try an open fucking relationship and see how that works. Because let me tell you something. At least I know the nigga is cheating. Oh, I said it again. At least I know that he cheating on me. So I think I'm gonna do that. But okay, I'm just joking. But I tell you what, in all seriousness, even if I did entertain a poly relationship or open relationship, however you want to coin it, there would have to be some serious rules going on. Some serious rules. Or some serious rules. Like, this can't be somebody that you hang out with. Okay. You only calling her to smash. Ain't no kissing involved. Ain't no oral sex. If that's your thing, ain't no oral sex going on. Ain't no cuddling afterwards. She can't come to your house because if I come to your house, I don't want to be thinking that it's a whole body that's been on this bed with you. She can't come to your house. You got to go over there. It's going to be in and out, in and out. Y'all going to act like 16-year-olds, in and out. Like, there's just too many rules that I would be like, to the fact that you be like, nah, girl, we ain't doing it.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, so on the flip side, this was what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the same thing that I told you that you can't do. The things that you can't do, I can't do either. So this is how open it's gonna be. And we're gonna see how that rolls. But you can't be in the same state or the same city with me. If put it like this, if it's 3 hours and I can get to you in 3 hours, ain't no damn open relationship. Maybe 4 hours or more because I know you probably got some needs that I can't get to you. I don't know. But maybe I'll try it. Hey.
Well, you let us know.
Everything didn't work for me, so maybe I will try being in the pot. I'm bullshitting, y'all.
She lying, viewers. She lying. She ain't gonna do it, y'all. She ain't gonna do it.
Find somebody that wants to be in a poly relationship with me, okay?
Well, you viewers, we have reached our time frame on that. No.
Foolishness.
Well, as always, you ladies and gentlemen, our friends, viewers, family, friends, everybody, we want to thank you all so much for
Thank
tuning in tonight.
you.
We always have a blast. Thank you so much for coming into our homes. Thank you so much for supporting Nisha and I on this phenomenal podcast, Unfiltered No Chaser,
Yep.
because this is fun. This is fun. You know, we did like I stated earlier. This was created during the COVID-19 pandemic, coronavirus, whatever you want to call it, and it's been a whole lot of stuff that's going on in this world, and we just wanted to bring some kind of entertainment into your homes. So we're going to drop our gems tonight, and I am a Southern gentleman, so I'm going to let the lovely lady, Miss Nitra, go first, and then I close it on out, and we gonna do. She'll close us out after I drop my gem, and then we're gonna keep the party going for next Saturday.
So the gem of the day this week is check on people with mental health. You never know who might need you, especially the strong people that you assume are the strong people. You never know. So we always say Black Lives Matter. Check on your people. Don't let I mean, even if it's nothing more than just telling a person that you haven't talked to for a while that you love them. You know, what's worse is when people die, you be like, oh my God, that was such a good dude. This and that and the other. He was cool. She was cool. She was great people. Da 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 da. Let them know while they're still living. Tomorrow is never promised, but with COVID-19, it definitely isn't promised. So just tell everybody that you love them and be sincere about it when you tell them that you love them. Again, check on your strong friends, check on your elderly people, do something nice for somebody. If you have a couple of extra dollars or whatever and you want to send somebody some damn groceries, send them some groceries. It's the thought that counts, even if it was nothing but a pack of bread and some peanut butter. You never know what people are going through in this pandemic. People are still losing their jobs. So you have to be mindful of that and just, again, just love on everybody.
Right. Okay, and I want to piggyback on what she was saying. I just want to say for our viewers, stay as positive as you can. Despite so many losses, so much negativity that we're seeing throughout this pandemic, there are some positives that have come out of this.
Yeah.
Keep good people around you. Keep good energy around you. Don't feel like you have to stay in anything that's toxic. If you can't get to a therapist to sit down and talk your issues out, we're doing a thing now called teletherapy. Well, a lot of the times the therapists, they can do screenings, you can do therapy sessions, you can do it over the phone. That's what I'm doing pretty
Yeah.
much. So if you need someone to talk to, go, check in with your local listings for, clinics, hospitals, whatever. See if you can check in with your social workers, psychotherapists, psychiatrists, and maybe you can set yourself up a session. If you're not able to get to a therapist, keep good people around you, keep good energy around you, and just thank God for life. You know what
Right.
I mean? Because at the end of the day, it could be the other way. You know what I mean? It could go 10 times in a bad situation, but it can also go 10 times in a great situation. So despite so many negative things that we see on the news and in the media and all in the press, there are some good things that have come out of this COVID-19. So let's try to focus on those things. The
Yeah.
most important thing, like I said again, I can't say it enough, is stay positive. Stay as positive as you can. And not just stay positive, keep good people around you. Keep
Yes.
good people around you. Keep
Energy. Good energy.
energy makes a huge difference. So
Yes.
let's keep that going. Let's keep that going. And so that's my gem of the night. And so I'm going to shoot it back to Nietzsche. I'm going to let Nietzsche close us out. This is your boy Erskine EJ Alexander checking in from New York.
And I'm the D. I am in the DMV, the DC, Maryland, and Virginia, Northern Virginia, because Virginia in Virginia Beach be trying to creep in. We're DMV, no, boo, you 757. Okay, but again, we really, really, really do appreciate you all talking to us, coming out weekly, just kicking it with us. We do appreciate our day ones, and we really appreciate Bruce, because I'm always gonna say Bruce is all the way in Germany, so it's like 3-4 o'clock in the morning with him, and he is up with the shits with us. So we do appreciate you. If you have a comment, and I got to do better because Bruce actually sent me a couple of things, and I kind of asked him a question, and then I totally forgot about it. So I have to do a little bit better with that. Tracy's, we did get her topic in, but if you have a topic that you want us to discuss, send us what the topic is and give us a little bit background on the topic, because I'm constantly moving, even during the COVID-19, because again, I have a business which I do sell eyelashes and eyelashes online, and my 13-year-old is coming up, will have a lip gloss business that we're about to launch. So so I do have other things going on besides my full-time job, and then cheer season is kicking back up. Now I don't know what we're gonna do about cheer season, because the whole touching and 6 feet, but hey, she enjoys it, I pay the bill. So again, let us know your topic. Give us a little bit background on the topic. We will discuss it, and then we will bring it to the forefront if we think that it's a engaging topic. So we'd like to say thank you. We'll see you next week, same time, same bat channel, and we love you.